How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray and DVD update with 8 pickups, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. Some pretty good titles right here, and let me know which one of these titles is your favorite as well. Leave me a comment down below. And first up are 2 releases from the Criterion Collection. One of my favorite companies out there releasing. Let me know what your favorite Criterion Collection release is and what you would like to see Criterion Collection release in the future. First up is the BRD Trilogy from Werner, Fassbinder. BRD stands for Bunder Republik Deutschland. And I actually lived in Germany, Frankfurt, Germany, for 4.5 years as a kid. I lived in Germany before the fall of the Berlin Wall. That's how old I am now. But I think it's kind of interesting, the history, and that's what it stands for right there too. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I wish I would have retained more of the language when I moved back to the States. Nobody really spoke it, so I didn't really keep up with it, but beautiful country. I remember going on a class trip cruise on the Rhine River, but I just kind of taking nostalgia with this too. Werner Fassbinder, kind of the catalyst of the new German film movement. And he passed away right after Veronica Voss. Veronica Voss was his second to last film. He passed away at the age of 37 from a drug overdose. So very sad. But he made a lot of films in a short time span. He made, like, I think 40 films by the time he was 37. So these 3 films, the marriage of Maria Braun, Veronica Voss, and Lola, for the first time on Blu-ray in this nice box set right here. 79, 81, and 82 respectively. And they come out like this. Nice outer slipcase. And I will be talking about these more in depth as well. I might do an unboxing for it too. There's a nice thick booklet, and I love when they include the booklets, behind the scenes information, photographs, stuff like that. And these like slim pack, kind of digipack style right there. And I love that kind of a design right there for it. And then each one of them thematically is similar, dealing with a singular woman, dealing with different issues in their lives. But definitely looking forward to checking out the transfers for these. And I'm thinking about doing an unboxing and doing like a proper standalone video for this as well. And so I'm going to slide these back in. There you go. There's the back for it. And next up from Criterion Collection is Do the Right Thing, which I have the old DVD release. And I am such a collector. It's hashtag collector problem. Should I keep the old DVD? I'm a big fan of this film, but I have limited space. You see the 2 bookshelves behind me. I have 9 total. They're all 6.5 feet tall from IKEA. I've got piles of movies all around me on the floor as well. Got to start making some decisions. Since I got the Blu-ray, should probably get rid of the DVD, right? So I am a big fan of this film. Probably one of my favorites from Spike Lee. I don't think it was the very first Spike Lee film I saw, a Spike Lee joint. But it was one that definitely made an impression on me. Just thinking about this movie, it just makes my blood boil, the ending of it. Radio Raheem. But let me know, would you keep the DVD of it now that you have the Blu-ray? It's different artwork. It is a great film. I love it. So I'm kind of torn on it. I'm pretty sure it has all the same special features on here. I haven't delved into it yet for the Blu-ray. And I like the design for this one too. Oh, it's beautiful. This is actually the first time taking it out. I didn't really prep for this video. But there you go, digipack design. Whoop. Thick booklet, and a disc popped out. Hold on, momentarily. Let me pick that up real quick. Oh, back. Oh, I love the artwork for this. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Oh, I'm digging that big time. And then you got, might as well take the discs back out. 2 disc set right there. There you go. I love the look to this. Just amazing. I love all the actors in here. I used to have a big crush on Rosie Perez growing up. You know, in several movies, especially White Men Can't Jump. But I'm super. This is the script right here, I'm imagining. Yep, it looks to be that way. But some great pictures and stuff in here too. And so there's a little bit of information about it, and then looks like the script. So I am definitely excited to go more in depth on this set. Check that out. I'll probably do an unboxing for this too. 40 Acres and a Meal film work, Spike Lee joint right there. Love the design. Love the artwork choice for it. Again, great cast in here. And the ending, just thinking about it. I can't wait to revisit this one and check it out on Blu-ray. This had previous Blu-ray releases, but the first time on Blu-ray for the Criterion Collection, and a really beautiful looking edition for it. I'm excited to check them out. And let me know what your favorite Spike Lee movie is. For me, there's easily a top 3. Do the Right Thing, He Got Game, and Malcolm X. But he has a lot of great films under his belt. I think some underrated ones are Clockers, School Days, Girl 6, and he also has the recent Black Klansman, which got nominated for a lot of things for the Oscars, and I think is a great film. I don't know how in the world Adam Driver got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He was there, he was in the movie, he was good, but definitely not Oscar award nomination worthy. And I do like Spike Lee as a director, but I don't like a lot of things that he says or does, especially turning his back when Green Book won for Best Picture for the Academy Awards. He's done a lot of things that I definitely don't agree with, but I still think he's a great and talented director. So yeah, let me know what your favorite Spike Lee joint is. Don't say the Old Boy remake. And I think for film fans, Criterion Collection is a company that, if you've been collecting for a while, has a lot of nostalgia. They used to be called Film School in a Box. Again, they do a lot of great international classic modern films. On the back it says a continuing series of important classic and contemporary films. But yeah, for me, I remember checking them out way back in the day when I first started collecting movies. And I think if you're a physical media fan, and especially they do a lot of classics, I feel like it's okay to keep some of them. If you have the Blu-ray and the DVD of it, different artwork as well. But for me, I'm running out of space, so I guess I have to make some tough decisions there. But yeah, again, a lot of nostalgia for me. I remember watching and rewatching a bunch of their earlier releases on DVD, and I've never had any issues with disc rot or anything like that, so very happy there. I think it also has to do with maybe humidity and where you're at too, as far as temperature-wise in the country and around the world, I guess. I think that definitely plays into it, so thankful to not have any issues with that. But yeah, I'm kind of torn because, again, I have other ones where I have the Blu-ray and DVD, Hidden Fortress, and Sisters, and a few different ones, and it's kind of hard to let go of them because I remember watching them growing up and kind of influencing, shaping some of my tastes as well. The whole Criterion Collection line, the label of it, I've found so many great films through them. So I'm kind of torn. It seems like such a silly question. Should I keep the DVD when I have the Blu-ray of it? But it's, I don't know, it's memories, nostalgia, different artwork, different design. Hashtag collector problems right there. Next up, from Scream Factory, which is the horror cult division of Shout Factory, is the collector's edition for Silent Hill. Silent Hill, it's been a while since I've seen this one. I remember being very creeptastic and atmospheric, and the nurses and the pyramid head guy. I never played the video game. Let me know if you think this is one of the best video game adapted movies. I feel like a lot of the video game adapted movies aren't that great. But I think for me, I haven't played the game, but as far as a movie itself, it's one of the better ones that comes to mind. Like some of the other ones were just super cheap, like Super Mario Brothers and Double Dragon, and even the old Mortal Kombat movie. I liked the first one, but it really wasn't that great of a movie. But I think this one was a pretty decent one. Tomb Raider, the old school Tomb Raider, it was decent, but I don't know, I definitely like the horror elements for this too. It's big time. Again, horror is my favorite genre, so some good special features here and nice new artwork. And then I did the reversible artwork already for that, so I think that looks pretty cool. And again, I'll open it up. There you go, 2-disc edition. And there's the newly commissioned artwork, which I do enjoy. I know they have a ton of new releases slated. My one criticism for Scream Factory is I want to see them do more releases that don't already have previous releases. Like, there's so many that have previous releases that are just as good as just essentially getting new artwork and maybe 1 or 2 new special features. The Blob remake is another one that I'm not a big fan of that artwork. Kind of looks like Prince, Purple Rain, a little bit on the cover artwork for that they've shown, but I do like the artwork for this one a lot. I think this looks amazing. And I didn't have this on Blu-ray previously. I had the sequel, but not this one, so I'm definitely happy to add this to my collection. Looking forward to revisiting it as well. Next up is A Dark Place, which I haven't seen this one. This is from Shout Factory line, but I guess it should be Scream Factory because I believe it is a horror title, at least a thriller. It sounds pretty atmospheric and creepy from the back, especially the shots rather too. I love that cover. Definitely gives you like a murder mystery kind of vibe going on here. Small town sanitation truck driver whose friendship with a young boy on his route leads to an obsession with the truth about the boy's sudden disappearance. So I guess it just involves into that. To me, it sounds like a murder mystery. So yeah, it says an engrossing realistic drama. But again, sounds more thriller to me. And initially when I saw the artwork for it and just the brief synopsis, I was thinking, oh, this is a horror movie for sure. But I guess it's playing up more the dramatic elements. But to me, it looks like they're marketing it as kind of a thriller. But we shall see. And looking forward to checking this one out. And it does have some interior artwork right there. And next up from Paramount and Comedy Central is the complete 22nd season of South Park. I remember when this came on. I was a kid and wow, time flies. It's really surprising to see certain TV shows that are still on the air, especially animated ones like South Park, The Simpsons. I still think they're both very fresh and they bring up a lot of things that are current in the news. And let me know who your favorite South Park character is, and let me know if you have a favorite episode of South Park. Nice outer slipcase. So I still think they're relevant and funny, and nice digipack design with the different characters, and folds out like that. And definitely looking forward to popping this in. I don't think I've actually seen many episodes recently of it, so I got to kind of refresh and take a look at it. But the last few episodes I saw probably last season, I think, were really entertaining still. So I still think it's fresh, relevant, entertaining, hilarious, raunchy, crazy, wild, just a good time. So I'm glad that they're still going, and great to see still physical media releases for it too. I remember when The Simpsons said they were going to stop doing physical media releases, and they went back to doing physical media releases because they realized a lot of their fans are into that. Physical media for life. Next up is Us. This is a release from Universal. This is the Blu-ray edition. Jordan Peele, obviously, just blew up. I haven't seen the Twilight Zone one because I think it's on like you have to get like a separate thing for it, CBS Plus or something. I'm just not interested in doing that. So I feel like that's really going to hurt that series. If you wanted to get a mass appeal for it, put it on, a basic network that people get. I think that was just a huge mistake on their part. But to me, Us was engaging, intriguing, but nowhere near as good as Get Out. I liked a lot of the elements. I thought it was engrossing right from the start, but I think it kind of faltered, and it definitely had some plot holes and things that just didn't add up. I remember as soon as I was done watching the movie, I was like, let me check out online. There's all these videos on YouTube and online, like, ending explained. I hate them because most of them add nothing of relevance to it. The same thing with Us. This didn't really explain anything. It just says what happens. It just essentially verifies what you just saw, but doesn't add anything of substance. Kind of speculates on things, but nothing new was added to the conversation. Nothing was put in with depth. I thought maybe I'd missed something, and I really hadn't. And all those kind of videos are just clickbait and just kind of very gimmicky and novelty, and they don't really tell you anything that you didn't know unless you weren't really paying attention. That was the case for the ending explained here. Didn't really add up and make a lot of sense with what they're doing. Like, obviously you saw, that one part come in, and then they kind of explain, it's like, well, why didn't they just all leave before? Like, if the government thing, and it wouldn't have made any sense to just leave them there. And then there's just so many other little things. And then the whole Hands Across America thing, I just thought that was super kind of ridiculous and corny. And there's so many issues I have with especially the ending and how it plays out. They could have done so much more with it. I felt like that was, I don't know if there's gonna be a tie-in for something else and they add more to it, but as a standalone, I just felt, again, it was engaging, it was tense, suspenseful, thrilling, great acting performances here, especially from Lupita Nyong'o playing the dual role. They're all, dual roles, the tethered characters. But again, there's plot holes, major plot holes. It's not that people don't understand it. It's that things just don't make sense, and there's nothing that you can do to explain it because it's just ridiculous. All the tethered could have left a long time ago. The government wouldn't have really let them be. They would have probably just killed them all if it was some kind of, government that they, lead you to believe that aspect of it. And then there's the whole Hands Across America's thing. Just so much about it just doesn't really make sense, or, it leaves you wanting more. And again, I think it was an intriguing movie, but it wasn't fully developed. And it's kind of surprising to hear that because I feel like he's somebody that really thinks everything out. So I guess, sometimes people make movies that they make kind of for themselves. I think of David Lynch. He makes a lot of movies and TV. Twin Peaks, obviously, he makes a lot of themes and scenarios that don't make sense add up, but I feel like he does it for himself and he doesn't want to explain it. Maybe that's something here as well with Jordan Peele on this one, but I still think this is a worthy film to add to the collection, something that I would definitely plan to rewatch again, and happy to add it to my collection. Let me know what you think of it. I remember, again, these whole ending explain videos on here just to me just seem like such a joke, and I can't believe they rack up so many views because they really add nothing to it. And it's just like, were you not paying attention? Because they just basically explain everything that you just saw and maybe speculate on a couple things, but nothing really in depth. At least for the ending explained videos I've seen, I think it's just kind of laughable. This one I was kind of curious, is like, did I miss something tying it? And no, I didn't. It was just them saying the same things that I saw a few minutes ago and just adding some possibilities of, get out. The parents could have been involved with this. Well, that's a huge stretch that you just made up. Like, there's nothing you explained there. You just made something up. But I digress. Next up is Under the Silver Lake, which is such a bizarrely fascinating film. Kind of an homage to classic Hollywood, which I really enjoyed. It's directed and written by David Robert Mitchell, who did It Follows, which I absolutely love. I think it's one of the best American modern horror movies. Andrew Garfield is the lead here. He's basically kind of obsessed with his female neighbor who moves in and disappears like the next morning, and they kind of hang out, and he's just trying to figure out what happened to her, and there's all these different codes and puzzles he's trying to figure out. And for a while I was thinking, is he a paranoid schizophrenic? There's all these weird subplots here, and by the end they give you some explanations, but not explanations for everything. There's all these different weird things that kind of leave you hanging. Like there's a dog murderer, somebody who's like killing dogs, and there's like the owl woman who was super creepy. Holy moly, I was not expecting that to be so creepy. But there's so many different things that they kind of leave you hanging on, but I kind of like it. I like a lot of movies where they don't spoon feed you everything. I like anonymity, kind of makes you think, and that's something I definitely appreciate. It's the same thing with a lot of books. They don't always have to spoon feed you everything. The viewer's imagination or reader's imagination can make up a lot, and I think that's the same thing here. This is one that I've definitely been thinking about a lot. The Blu-ray is a burn-on-demand disc, so I'm kind of happy with just getting the DVD before this is a release from Lionsgate. I'm seeing a lot more companies do the burn-on-demand discs, and I'm not really a big fan of that. But it has a lot of great actors in here. This isn't going to be something that's going to be for mainstream audiences, I don't think. It's going to frustrate a lot of viewers. Just kind of the quirkiness of it, weirdness of it, and it just doesn't give you all of the answers. But I absolutely loved the heck out of it. And if you were a fan of kind of a weird, quirky, kind of subversive films with a lot of like mystery to it, this is definitely a really good mystery thriller, neo-noir thriller. Again, I love the homage to classic Hollywood. I think you would enjoy it if you enjoyed those aspects here, and great acting performance, especially from the lead here, Andrew Garfield. He's got that grunge look down perfectly, but so many weird things all throughout, and I just loved it. Great cast, supporting cast all throughout too. A lot of recognizable faces here. Next up is Climax, which I haven't seen this one. This is a film by Gasper Noe. I like some elements of his films, but I don't always like all of the things that he does. But I've heard a lot of great things, a lot of hype for this one. I think it's about a dance troupe. They're having a party, and I think whatever they're drinking or eating gets spiked with acid, and I think they start going crazy and killing people, killing each other. That's the gist of it from what I know. They said, it's supposed to be very crazy and just tense and palpable, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's a French film. Again, I like Gasper Noe, some of his films and some of the elements that he utilizes, but not always everything. So I've heard a lot of hype though for this one, so looking forward to checking it out. Let me know what your favorite Gasper Noe film is. I feel like Irreversible is probably his most well-known and most popular one. Again, I like certain elements of it and certain elements I don't like about it. But the fire extinguisher scene definitely stands out for me in Irreversible. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And let me know what your favorite French horror movie is. For me, it's probably got to be Inside and Frontiers. I know a lot of people love Martyrs for the French Extreme, but I felt like that was kind of a divided film. I loved the first half, but not so much the second half, and I thought the whole concept was just so ridiculously absurd, the martyrdom. But I think it's a film that every horror fan, especially if you're a fan of gore effects, will definitely should see once at least, because the gore effects were amazing, some of the best ever. And it has a very controversial history as well. But there you go. Those were the pickups right there, the 8 films. If you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite as well. Leave me those comments down below. And I love the side spines for that too, for the Do the Right Thing, the BRD trilogy. Let's look at that. Let's look at it this way, right there. Bam! That just looks prettier to me. It's so nice. So nice, I had to redo it twice. So there you go. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.